1212.
Thanks for watching Channel.
Check. I'm putting it on. Hold on. Hey, does it look okay? Vance is standing there, but I can't make the chair go up anymore. Do we need to bring the camera down? Hello? Michael. Okay. Check.
This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
A red flag warning is in effect for much of northwestern Nevada tonight. How long our critical fire conditions will last tops Channel 2 News at 5. The red flag warning for higher fire danger went into effect about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Good evening. I'm Wendy DeMonte.
I'm Kristen Remington. You saw our Tahoe cam shaking up there finally. The winds have picked up and so has the fire danger. We do begin with fire watch coverage for you. Chief Meteorologist Mike Algers in the Weather Center and has more on this red flag warning. How long will it last, Mike?
Well, the red flag warning itself is set to expire tonight at 9 o'clock, and I think it probably will. Now, that doesn't mean that the winds are just going to go away. I think they're going to calm down somewhat tonight, and they're going to come back and be fairly breezy tomorrow. But two things go into effect when you set up a red flag warning. One is the strength of the winds, and you can see right now, winds, especially aloft, are really cooking. When you get these long Sierra wave clouds like you see right here, that is a sign that the wind is really cooking along up there above mountaintop level, and we've had them flush down here to the valley. But you also need relative humidities that are fairly low, and while our actual humidity may not change very much, our temperatures are going to be dropping over the next several days. Today we topped out at 87 degrees. actually quite early in the day. We're seeing temperatures drop off slowly as this front that is setting up the winds is moving through. You notice we're even warmer over there to the east. Now, in the next 24 hours, you're going to see this front that at this point is very dry. You can see it moving on through. That'll push on through, dropping our temperatures tomorrow, probably into the upper 70s. Then we got another front coming through on Friday that'll probably drop our Saturday highs into the upper 60s. So it's going to be a chilly start, certainly seasonally, when you go into the Labor Day weekend. May not stay all that chilly throughout, though. We'll tell you all about that and give you a complete Labor Day forecast coming up here a little bit later in the show.
And that's what people want to know. All right, Mike, thanks so much. Well, the University of Nevada Police Department is asking for help finding a student who went missing last week. Police say 24-year-old Matthew Baldwin was last seen on August 25th when he left campus, and they say he never returned. He had a shaved head at the time. Police say he was driving a 1997 Gold Mercury Sable, like the one on your screen here, with Washington license plates 254ZGO. If you know where he is, call University Police Services at this number, 784-4013.
In Crime Beat now, Reno police are investigating an officer-involved shooting involving a member of a U.S. Marshals task force. It happened this morning just after 9:30 at an apartment complex on Clover Way at the intersection of Moana Lane. Police say a Sparks police officer who was a member of the task force opened fire on the suspect shortly after they made contact with him. Police say the suspect is a 31-year-old man who was wanted for a felony probation violation and who was under investigation as part of a homicide in Oakland.
He's got a history of robbery, escape, and firearms convictions. So kind of a violent subject.
The suspect was hospitalized and is in critical but stable condition tonight. Reno police say the task force was made up of members of the Sparks Police Department, Washoe County Sheriff's Office, and the U.S. Marshals Service.
Police in Fox Lake are going door to door looking for information that will help track down the 3 men accused of the fatal shooting of Lieutenant Charles Joseph Glenowitz yesterday. Glenowitz was not able to provide dispatchers with a detailed description of the men he was chasing on foot before he was shot. He only said that 2 were white and 1 was black. While multiple police agencies are following dozens of leads, people in this town are coming to grips with the loss of an officer affectionately known as G.I. Joe. The lieutenant was well known within the small community. He was with the department for 3 decades and mentored young people who wanted to become officers. The 52-year-old leaves behind a wife and 4 sons. And get this, he was set to retire later this month. Well, Elko police are investigating an attempted murder of an officer after an incident Sunday night. Elko police say an officer was driving between 5th and 12th Streets when he heard something which later turned out to be a bullet in his vehicle. He was not hurt. Anyone with information can help investigators. Call Elko Police. Here's the number for you, 775-777-7310.
And tonight we have new information about a standoff at a Gardnerville home where a woman was found dead last night. About 7:30, deputies responded to the 1400 block of Edlesboro Circle in the Chichester Estates neighborhood. When they arrived, they found an elderly woman, now identified as 82-year-old Phyllis Lewis, dead. A man identified as 86-year-old Williams Lewis, her husband, had barricaded himself in the home. He later surrendered. He was hospitalized with unspecified medical issues. An autopsy is being conducted to determine how his wife died. And a church that was vandalized in Incline Village over the weekend was hit again overnight. The village church says a vandal chipped away parts of the cross on the front of the church and damaged some of the electrical wiring overnight. This is the 4th time they have been hit, and they say it's frustrating.
Seeing somebody engaging in something that's so pointless, it's not going to affect what he wants. It's not going to change us from being who we are. It's just going to cost people time and money and frustration.
If you know anything that can help investigators, call Secret Witness at 322-4900 or text your tip to 847-411. Secret Witness is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. The FBI is also offering an additional $5,000 reward.
A Carson City judge has been threatened not once, but 3 times in the past 2.5 years. And tonight, the Carson City Sheriff's Office needs your help finding the man responsible. Now, the threat started in December of 2012 when Carson City investigators say the suspect targeted Justice of the Peace John Tatro by firing several shots at his home. No one was hurt. Then in December of 2014, detectives say the judge and his wife received a threatening letter, threatening their lives, in fact. And this past May, they say the suspect left an incendiary device near the home. They say he lit it, but it never exploded. Channel 2 has obtained some crucial evidence. Take a close look at your screen right here. Detectives believe that is the suspect's vehicle, a light-colored sedan, as you see. They also released a picture of the suspect. It's hard to make out who he is, but take a look. A white male adult who they believe is somewhere north of Carson City. Multiple agencies are involved, and they believe he's linked to all three threats and fear more to come.
This is sincerely a serious threat. Anytime you have weapons being discharged into homes, which we all know did occur, incendiary devices being placed at homes, there is a significant threat to the family.
If you know anything, call or text Secret Witness, which is offering a $2,000 reward.
Looking around the world, the Obama administration won a key victory today, securing enough support to ensure its nuclear deal with Iran will likely be implemented. This morning, Maryland Senator Barbara Mikulski became the 34th Democratic senator to announce her support, meaning Republicans do not have the votes to stop it. Minutes after getting Mikulski's support, Secretary of State John Kerry, who negotiated the landmark agreement, said the deal holds Iran accountable.
And we spoke with some local experts on international policy today for their take on this deal. Aaron Breen has that part of our story live in the newsroom for us tonight. Aaron, what's the reaction here at home?
Well, Kristen, as always, it depends on who you talk to. And of course, we talked to both sides today. About the only thing that they agreed on, though, is the fact that the deal got enough support to survive a challenge wasn't surprising. So were you surprised that they got enough votes?
No, Aaron, I wasn't. I knew that they would get one more than they needed.
I would have told you a month ago that they'd got the votes at the end of the day.
President Obama has been collecting those votes one at a time. According to Cobb, some of the opposition to it is politically motivated.
Many senators and congressmen want to be on record as opposing this, but the last thing in the world they want to see is this accord fail and be responsible for the consequences.
Senator Heller says his opposition has been and still is genuine.
Bad deal, so bad deal for Israel, bad deal for the United States.
Heller says not only is it bad policy, but the fact that Iran will be getting $150 billion in the deal puts a target on Israel.
I'm certain he's not going to be building hospitals and schools. He's going to be building missiles, and they'll probably face most of them towards Israel.
Cobb counters that it's the best deal possible under the circumstances.
In my mind, if you look at it, it has the most intrusive verification measures that I've ever seen in one of these nuclear arms agreements, far more than we ever succeeded in getting in the Reagan administration with the Soviet Union. It will set back any attempt that the Iranians have to build a nuclear weapon for several years, maybe 10. So all in all, I think it's a very positive outcome.
And Senator Heller says he expects that a change in the administration could mean a change in this policy very soon after a new president takes office. And he's convinced that a return to economic sanctions would pay off.
Continue what we're doing. We brought them to the table because of sanctions. Continue with those sanctions in order to get the deal we want.
The actual vote is set for September 17th. Covering the story, Aaron Breen, Channel 2 News.
Western Nevada is anticipating massive job and population growth over the next 5 years. See how the community is preparing coming up at 5:30.
Hundreds of gallons of milk are being donated today to the Food Bank of Northern Nevada. I'm Andy Guevara. Coming up, we'll explain how Smith's is helping kick off Hunger Action Month in Northern Nevada.
But first, today a judge in Baltimore ruled against the 6 officers accused in the death of Freddie Gray. How they'll be brought to trial after the break.
You're watching Channel 2 News at 5, Northern Nevada's #1 newscast, with Wendy DeMonte, Kristen Remington, and Mike Alger's Pinpoint 2 forecast.
Looking around the nation now, a Baltimore judge refused to dismiss charges against 6 police officers charged in connection with the death of a 25-year-old black man.
It is a victory, really, for those demanding justice. But as Weijia Jane reports from Baltimore, police are still on guard in case protesters lash out.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
A small but passionate group of demonstrators surrounded the Baltimore courthouse Wednesday morning, where a judge made critical decisions about the case of Freddie Gray.
I feel like I could have been Freddie Gray that day.
Judge Barry Williams denied a defense motion to drop the case against the 6 police officers charged in the death of 25-year-old Gray, who died of spinal injuries while in police custody. Lawyers argued the state's attorney, Marilyn Mosby, tainted the jury pool when she publicly announced the charges, arguing she held a, quote, pep rally to seek vengeance for Gray's death.
I thought that was condescending. I thought it was a bit disrespectful to the state's attorney's office.
Judge Williams refused to remove her from the case. He also declared that all 6 officers will have separate trials. Outside the courthouse, police are standing guard looking for rowdy protesters. The city police department canceled all leave for officers in case chaos erupts. At least one protester was arrested. However, this round of demonstrations was relatively peaceful compared to those in April, when a small group looted a local drugstore, set police cars on fire, and threw bricks at officers. Weijia Jang, Channel 2 News.
Well, our skies are probably going to cloud up a little bit over the next couple of days, and the winds are going to pick up. But can we get any precipitation out of it? We'll have that for you along with the Labor Day weekend forecast next.
And speaking of Labor Day, it's almost here. How drivers will be saving money at the pump this year in a big way after the break.
Jay.
Mike.
Oh, ain't technology grand?
It's so good.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone. In Money Watch now, drivers across the country are enjoying gas prices that are as low as they've been in more than a decade. According to GasBuddy.com, the average price of regular unleaded this Labor Day weekend will be below $2.50 per gallon at nearly 70% of the gas stations in the country. However, the average here in Nevada is still above that. Also, 19 states are seeing gas below $2 a gallon. GasBuddy says drivers in the South will be seeing the cheapest prices.
It was another winning day on Wall Street as stocks rebounded partially from triple-digit losses. The Dow finished up more than 290 points, while the Nasdaq gained 113 points. The Dow sank almost 470 points yesterday as traders worried about more signs of weakness in China's economy.
Well, Netflix announced today it's launching in Japan in a partnership with SoftBank. This comes as investors in Netflix are worrying about a possible new threat after reports that Apple could muscle in on its territory. After more than doubling in price this year, Netflix shares fell more than 8% yesterday. There are rumors Apple will launch its own video streaming service. It could even copy the Netflix model.
Now, here's Chief Meteorologist Mike Alger's Pinpoint 2 forecast, broadcast certified by the American Meteorological Society.
Well, the picture you see back behind me here is a pretty classic one as we see some kind of cold front coming to our area. What it does is increases the winds coming in parallel or perpendicular to the mountains, and it creates this wave pattern that oftentimes will repeat itself on downstream a little bit. You can see it even better when you put it into motion. It looks like just water flowing over a rock in a river here with this long Sierra wave cloud popping up here. Things are still pretty stable out here right now, and we don't have a lot of moisture, just enough to kick it up to form those long clouds. I don't expect precipitation is going to be a big part of this forecast. We may, and it's emphasis on the may, get a shower on Saturday, but until that time, the big two weather words are going to be cooler and windy over the next couple here. 81 degrees outside right now at the airport, 16% humidity. The dew point is in the low 30s. Barometric pressure is falling, but it's going to rise as we go into the nighttime, I think. We got west winds now at 16, gusting in the valley here in the last hour to 30 miles per hour. High of 87, a low of 56. Finally at or maybe even a degree below average here, and this is probably going to be the warmest temperature we see over the next 5-6 days. It's going to get downright gelid here by the weekend, certainly chillier than we've had in a while. All right, so it's this low sitting up here right now. It's been very slowly diving down. You can see the air coming down out of the north, sort of carving out a dry cold front and a dry trough of low pressure across the area. This low will continue to just kind of slide on down. Now, as it does so, it's going to do a couple of things. First of all, we're going to see a cold front here that's just about to us now pass through by tomorrow. That's going to drop our temperatures a fair bit. But we've also got this secondary cold front that'll come in on Friday. That'll kick our winds right back up. So even though tomorrow may not be quite as windy as today, it's probably not going to be that much different, and we're going to have winds right on the heel of it up here coming in through the area here on Friday. It's going to be blowing dust around the area, especially for the people up on the playa for Burning Man. There's a blowing dust advisory up there that doesn't take a lot of wind to do that, and there's going to be plenty of wind to do that for them. 70s and 80s for your highs tomorrow. We will certainly cool things down a little bit. Probably see upper 70s in Dayton, still a little bit warmer further over there to the east. And here in the Reno area tonight, mid-50s for your lows tonight, but only 79 for our highs. 77 in Carson City and somewhere close to the 70-degree mark at Lake Tahoe. Tahoe tonight actually mostly clear early. You see a few clouds late with a low of 41 degrees. Winds are going to temporarily decrease. They'll pick up again then tomorrow afternoon with partly cloudy skies. 10-mile-per-hour morning winds. We could have gusts in excess of 30 in the afternoon. For Reno tonight, clear throughout most of the evening. A few clouds late, a high of, or low of 56 degrees. Winds then will start to pick up, maybe to 10 in the morning, 15, 25, gusting to 35 in the afternoon with, again, cooler temperature of 79 degrees. Now look what happens. 77 on Friday, winds pick up again. Saturday, 20% chance of a shower, and we may not even make it to 70 degrees there, but it rebounds quickly the end of the Labor Day weekend, back up in the low 80s and upper 80s by midweek. All right, let's go out and see how the traffic is shaping up here on your Wednesday commute. We'll go out to Jay Rodriguez with the Alice 96.5 Traffic Center. Jay, what's happening out there?
Well, Mike, there's a vehicle accident with injuries in Reno on Highway 395 northbound at the Golden Valley exit. Expect delays or avoid the area. Crews remain on scene of a vehicle accident with injuries and sparks on Pyramid and McCarran at the Chevron parking lot. Expect possible delays. NHP is they're directing traffic in Fernley on State Route 427 eastbound near mile marker 1. Expect delays. And CHP is on scene of a vehicle accident in South Lake Tahoe at 1132 Golden Bear Trail. Expect possible delays in that area. I'm Jay Rodriguez. Drive safe, Nevada.
And coming up tonight, a bear and her cub are back in the Tahoe wilderness tonight, one day after being captured by wildlife officials. We'll show you how the release went at 5:30.
By using one of these, you can help a needy family get one of these. I'm Andy Guevara. Coming up, we'll tell you about Smith's Pay It Forward promotion and how they're helping the Food Bank of Northern Nevada.
Do you want to just have the regular mic for this one?
It's
For the teas? I don't know if we have time to.
That's why I was trying to ask you what all you wanted to do. Is this a live shot? Figure this out.
Yeah. Is it possible we could have an apron and?
Oh yes,
yeah.
that's right.
Thank you.
Is it a live shot?
Yes.
Oh, it's too bad I'm not sitting in front of the TV.
My IP's going in and out. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Zach, you're gonna have to dial in.
Do you have headphones?
Yeah, can you hear me? Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Can you hear me? Okay.
We're just gonna go straight then.
Welcome back, everyone. September is Hunger Action Month, a time when relief organizations across the country ask us to donate food, money, even time to help feed the hungry in our own communities.
And here in Washoe County, Smith's grocery store is helping kick off the month with a big milk donation to the Food Bank of Northern Nevada. Andy Guevara reports.
Nutrient-rich and easily digested, milk is a popular staple in most households. Unfortunately, it's also pretty pricey.
Milk is expensive and it's very perishable, so it's difficult for food banks. We don't get a lot of donations of milk.
But today, Smith's is donating 432 gallons of milk to the Food Bank of Northern Nevada as part of the grocery store's commitment to helping fight hunger.
This is the second year we've actually done this. Last year it generated over 100,000 gallons of milk that we were able to donate through us and through our customers.
The customers get involved through an in-store campaign called Pour It Forward.
We kick it off, we donate it, and the customers, they pour it forward and they donate, and the next person does, and that's what sort of drives this.
You know, they can just take a slip to the cash register, scan it, and pay $1, $3, $5 and buy milk for somebody who needs it.
Store director Jason Kissero says with the help of their customers, Smith's hopes to double their donation this year to 200,000 gallons of milk.
The community up in Reno, Sparks, Carson, Gardnerville, Dayton, all those areas, we have such a great community that customers always come forward.
Jocelyn Lantrip with the food bank says there are many fun and easy ways to help our community, especially during September for Hunger Action Month.
Take a spoon selfie and put it on Facebook and tell people why you're doing it, to wearing orange on September 3rd, to volunteering. There's so many ways to get involved.
Covering the story, Andy Guevara, Channel 2 News.
And tomorrow, we are all being encouraged to wear the color orange to raise awareness for Hunger Action Month. If you would like to learn more about ways you can help, just head to our website and click the blue News Links button.
Job and population growth is expected to increase by 40 to 60,000 over the next 5 years. See the impact it could have on schools and housing locally next on Channel 2.
We're about to cook some ribs here at the Best in the West Rib Cook-Off. Find out how many pounds of ribs are going to be cooked. That story coming up next.
This is the biggest rib cook-off, not only